Part 2. Solid proof that Sandra Bland was murdered. Tonight, 12 and I will be sharing some common sense in regards to Sandra Bland's murder. There is no valid excuse for this. This side view mugshot was not taken on the same day as her other mugshot. 2 different times. 2 different settings. And very possibly 2 different women. Ask yourself, what reason would they have for delivering a mugshot such as this to the public? You already know. You know and I know that they are hiding something. Had Sandra been on the run for having robbed a bank, do you think that this would be the photo that they would release to the public? No, it would be a clear and sharp photo. Why? Because they want it to be easy to recognize her, should we see her. Mr. Wilborn is dark complexed. But notice how nice and clear his mugshot is. So as you can see, there is clearly no right reason for the horrible photo they took. This was deliberate. It proves more than anything that Sandra's real cause of death has been kept a secret. Busta Rhymes is also darker complex than Sandra. But as you can see, his mugshot is very clear and sharp. State Trooper Daniel Baxter physically assaulted his girlfriend at his home. She ran next door to his parents' house, and they called 911. He has lost his job and is housed in Wharton, Maryland jail, facing prison time. He is 32 years old and has been a state trooper for 12 years. You would think he'd known better, but people like him and Brian really believe they are some kind of little gods here on Earth. This is why so many of them have no problem shooting unarmed people. They have nothing to fear because grand juries all across the nation let them go home, and then also, their supporters give them tons of money. If you haven't seen part 1, then please view after this video is over. Please note how flat and squared the shoulders are. Then note the same in the next frame. Notice the angle of his nostrils. The person who took this picture was not standing directly in front of him. They were standing over him as he laid on the floor. This was the only way they could have gotten a shot up into his nostrils. This woman was in the cell across from Sandra. So she says. She claims that Sandra told her that she was not used to being in jail. I don't believe 1 minute that she is telling the truth. Because Sandra has been arrested and jailed before. Moreover, it's strange that she never heard any noise, if Sandra was choking herself to death. More proof that Sandra did not die by hanging. Sandra has indeed been in jail before. She didn't commit suicide then. So why, with a very strong possibility of winning thousands of dollars, why would she kill herself? There are too many questions that need to be answered. 12 Dreams doesn't believe Sandra committed suicide. There are just too many questions that need to be answered. If Sandra really committed suicide, there would not be any need for lies and cover-ups. Now would there? Please note the wax appearance which occurs on a body that has been dead more than 30 minutes. It is often said that many policemen are dumb as shit. And it really shows. How else did they really think they would get away with this and then hang her body up against a shower wall petition? Note also, how that the eyes were photoshopped. One pupil is bigger than the other one. Sandra did not have deformed eyes. Note also the light as it hit the eyes. Do you see that one of the pupils is reflecting light, whereas the other pupil is completely void of light? Only a photo that's been photoshopped can render such an obvious oversight by one who simply forgot that one tiny piece of deception. When Brian physically assaulted her the second time, he slammed her head to the ground. One of the major symptoms of cerebral injury is temporary loss of hearing. Did Sandra not scream that she could not hear? It's very possible that she actually died from this injury. To protect Brian from criminal punishment, Sandra was given liquid THC. Sandra's body was found hanging from a 50-gallon trash bag, which was attached to a hook, on the backside of the 5-foot petition you see on the right. According to the autopsy, Sandra was 70 inches tall. It is not humanly possible for her to have committed suicide. Her body would have forcefully stood itself up to avoid the horrid choking action. Much like it would, if it was in a drowning situation. The body naturally tries to save itself when faced with death, just like it protects itself from harm to the head. In a fall, the hands naturally extend out to avoid the greatest damage to the head and torso. Now do you see why Sandra could not have killed herself? They should have thought of a better idea than this, if they wanted to protect Brian and avoid a lawsuit. What you are looking at is liquid THC. According to 2 examiners, there was a remarkable amount of THC in her system. The conspirators wanted to give the impression that Sandra had been smoking a lot of marijuana and was a huge user. However, they put so much in her system at once, that they mistakenly made it obvious to the examiners that she had to have smoked all of it while in their custody. Police are much like a fraternity. They will risk their own careers trying to help another officer. I rest my case. I hope it is clear to you as to why Sandra's death is nothing but a huge cover-up. It was no suicide. She did not kill herself. May the truth be revealed in court. "60 seconds. In memory of the more than 1,500 African Americans who have been murdered by police in the last decade.
If we can get enough white people to show that all lives matter, maybe they'll stop killing our black brothers. Because obviously that's what it's going to take, for the white people to get up and get tired of black people saying Black Lives Matter. So if y'all want it to stop, you get out there and do something about it. But what you're not going to do is get on my page with the foolishness. You will be deleted. You will be unfriended. I am not a racist. I grew up in Villa Park, Illinois, was the only black girl on an all-white cheerleading squad, so I had to learn how to deal with and black people, you will not be successful in this world until you learn how to work with white people. But I want the white folks to really understand out there, black people are truly, we're doing as much as we can. Not all of us, but some of us are really doing as much as we can. And we can't help but get pissed off when we see situations where it's clear the black life didn't matter. For those of you questioning why was he running away, well, goddamn. Because in the news that we've seen as of late, you could stand there, surrender to the cops, and still be killed. So for those of you...
This has been a 12 Dreams production. Thanks for viewing. Please feel free to view other 12 Dream videos.
Thank you.